A former San Diego sheriff's deputy is heading to prison for more than a decade after being sentenced this afternoon for sexually abusing underage girls.
No expression as the judge read his sentence. The details of this case are disturbing, especially if you're a parent of a young teenage girl.
I have never seen a more despicable set of facts as I've seen in this case.
Jaylen Fleer, the predator behind the badge. He wore a badge, he swore an oath, and he stood beside children as a coach and mentor. But what Jaylen Fleer was doing behind closed doors wasn't just illegal, it was predatory. He didn't just betray his victims, he betrayed a community. Who was Jaylen Fleer? Jaylen Devon Fleer was a sheriff's deputy with the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. At 27 years old, he seemed like a rising star, a former athlete from Santana High School, where he played baseball, and a husband with a clean public image. He often volunteered in youth sports, showing up to practices, chatting with families, and offering guidance to kids. No one knew then that he was hiding a disturbing secret, one that would explode in 2020, the grooming and pattern of abuse. In early 2020, Fleer began reaching out to underage girls, mostly 12 to 15 years old, through Snapchat using anonymous usernames. He knew how the platform worked, disappearing messages, little parental oversight. It gave him cover. He didn't come off as aggressive or threatening at first. Fleer started by complimenting the girls, asking about their lives, telling them they were mature for their age. Over time, he escalated, sending inappropriate messages, asking to meet in person, and isolating them from friends or family. And when he gained their trust, he acted. Sometimes in parking lots, sometimes at secluded locations. In some cases, he even brought victims to his own home when his wife wasn't there. Court documents state that he used his county-issued vehicle to pick them up, sometimes in full uniform, a chilling abuse of power that made the victims feel both flattered and afraid. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it over and over again. How he was caught. Fleer might have continued undetected for longer, but one of the underage girls told someone she trusted what happened. That person tipped off the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, which triggered a cyber tip. From there, Chula Vista police launched an investigation. Through search warrants and social media tracking, detectives uncovered conversations Fleer had with multiple girls, many of them including incriminating photos, messages, and plans to meet. They started reaching out to the girls. Each one shared a similar story: grooming, gifts, promises, manipulation. By July 2020, Jaylen Fleer was arrested. When the public found out, the shock was immediate. A law enforcement officer, a youth coach, a married man caught preying on children. The charges and court case. Fleer was hit with 44 felony charges, an overwhelming list that included unlawful contact with minor, lewd acts, and use of a minor for inappropriate content. The charges involved 9 different underage girls, all from San Diego County, all harmed in the span of just a few months. Initially, Fleer pled not guilty, but the digital evidence was undeniable. The victims' statements were consistent, and the shameful details were too specific to ignore. In court, he broke down and pled guilty to 20 felony counts, including multiple acts with minors as young as 12. Many of the victims were approached during the COVID lockdown, when schools were closed and social isolation made vulnerable kids easier targets. Victim impact statements. During sentencing in August 2021, the voices of the victims were finally heard, even if anonymously. One girl said she stopped going outside because she didn't feel safe around adults anymore. Another said she now suffers from PTSD, afraid to use social media or walk past police officers. A parent broke down as they told the court they had invited Fleer to their home, never imagining what he was capable of. The emotional damage was described as long-term, complex, and devastating. Sentencing. Jaylen Fleer was sentenced to 12 years and 8 months in prison. He will have to register as a lifetime offender, and his badge has been permanently stripped. The judge said during sentencing that Fleer's actions were an abuse of authority in its most despicable form. And while some were relieved to see him behind bars, others believed the sentence was far too lenient for someone who used the power of his position to exploit children. A broken system of trust. What makes this case even more disturbing is how deeply trusted Fleer was. He wasn't a stranger. He was a deputy, a mentor, a neighbor, someone who was supposed to protect. And that's why so many people in San Diego County, especially parents, were left feeling betrayed. The case forced schools, police departments, and youth programs to re-examine how they vet adults who work with children. It raised hard questions about digital monitoring, background checks, and oversight, and whether someone like Fleer could be stopped before the damage is done. Jaylen Fleer is now behind bars, but the young girls he hurt will live with this trauma for the rest of their lives. This wasn't just about one bad man. It's about how easily predators can hide behind uniforms, behind smiles, behind false authority, and how we as a society must remain vigilant. The courage of the victims, many of them still teenagers, is what made this justice possible. Without their voices, Jaylen Fleer might still be out there, using his badge to manipulate the most vulnerable. Thank you for watching. If this case moved you and you want a deep dive, please share this video and subscribe for more true crime content that centers victims, exposes injustice, and demands accountability. If you or someone you know has experienced abuse, please reach out to a trusted professional or helpline. You are not alone. You are believed, and you deserve justice.